Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to another Massachusetts Central radio show, or Camo's Automotive radio show. You guys see the new insignia in the series because I did that with Microsoft. I did that with Microsoft Pilot about 12 days ago, maybe. Actually, when did I do that? I forget when I did that, but I did that. No, I did that last weekend. Did I do that last Saturday? I think I did that last Sunday. Because I needed to change the insignia because the small little gear change thing and then me showing the Corvette and stuff like that really didn't work. So I wanted to show an automotive thing and stuff like that. Hope you guys enjoy that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I've been shot one since the 1st. We're now on the 5th. It's been like 4 days. Well, I actually uploaded that one on. I uploaded that one into Tuesday morning. So yeah. This month's kind of we're already 5 days in, and I'm already skipping beats here, but we're off to a good start here in. We're off to a good start actually in here. Do I have my thing? Yeah, we're off to a good start here in we have 48 views for this month. We're getting off to a pretty good start for the first 5 days. You guys have responded to 50 views of me doing the Mafia fooling around on a Sunday type thing. I've been playing Mafia 2 in a long time. I might do more of those if you guys wish, because that's one of my favorite games of all time, and it's just nice to do whatever. I just wanted to give you guys an update on some things. Tomorrow I'm going to do the gear change show, probably. Oh yeah, by the way, big update. Work is going good. My hours are going up, which is good. Things are starting to return back to normal. I'm actually having fun again with the new challenge. So, but I'm happy with work again, and I'm liking my new challenges and stuff like that. It's really good. I always feel like I felt like it was time for a challenge, and challenge was coming my way, and felt a little uneasy first, but I'm happy to say that I reminded myself many times that I don't back down from a challenge, even when things get tough. So, but yeah. So we're gonna off to a decent start. I'm gonna do a gear change show tomorrow. I'm actually gonna do it on. I'm actually gonna do it on the. Since there's all this talk of turbos and for Formula One, and since Forza just released the Lotus 197T, the 1300 horsepower monster conquering all slidey Formula One car from that Aaron Senna used to drive. I might talk about the what I might do is I might talk about Group C, Group B, and F1 back in the 80's, and how wild it was to have all three coexist at the same time. For those of you who know, the 80's were kind of a time when the FIA went turbo mad. In fact, when I was playing Forza yesterday and I put on the turbo and I actually ran the turbo car yesterday, the boost was only at 50, was only like 70 to 80 p. It was only like 50 psi or something like that. They ended up when you put a twin turbo in the game, you get 1,371 horsepower. The boost is going at over 102 psi. It's really 80. It's really 5 bars. It's really 80 pounds of boost. It's like 6 bar boost or something like that. It's like 6 or 7. It's like 6 and 6 or 6.5 bar boost or something like that. But 102 pounds. And the car in the game, I was going around Indianapolis. I have a replay saved. I was able to get the car to go around in it, but Indianapolis 250. 250. I was able to average a lap time of 36 seconds. I was actually able to average maybe about over the laps. I think I was able to average about 233 maybe or something like that, because I did have to decelerate. Then I went to Daytona where the car went 260 at one point, and the car's jumping around and stuff like that. It's really wild. I was able to do a lap time of like 35 seconds or something like that at Daytona, which is unheard of. So, and it sounds like an Indy car, an early Indy. It sounds like a new Indy car, although I wish they would put the cars in there, like the Lolas and the Marches and the Penske's and the Ilmore Chevrolets and the Cosworth DFE and the Maynard Buicks and the Buicks that had over 900 horsepower, plus the stock block Mercedes that had over 1,024 during the 94 Indy 500. Was subsequently ruled out because it was ruled out / politically ruled out. It was not banned. It was not banned. It was just wedged out by rule changes and boost regulation changes because no one wanted the motor and it's because, well, they didn't want other people buying and dominating. And I think at the time they were thinking about safety. At the time they thought, these cars are going to be flying up in the air by the time they perfect these chassis. And it was good they didn't, because it was good they didn't. For those of you who don't know, the Mercedes chassis was able to do 225 in the corners, but on the straightaways, it was able to do 253. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that in kilometers. That's in miles per hour. So if somebody perfected the chassis back then, and people had perfected the cars to run like that, the cars would have been, I'm going to say by the early 2000s, we would have had, if everybody was running a stock block engine, the cars wouldn't be able to exist. In fact, they would have to have turned the boost down halfway through Kart's regiment, which is why at 94 on, in the Kart series, they made sure the cars made between 850 and 900 horsepower, and not only that, they also limited them to 2.65 or 159 cubic inch motors, so that's one of my favorite quotes from it's one of my favorite quotes out of Bobby Unser's roast. Tim Coffeen, who was famous for working on Newman Haas cars back in the 90s. When he was a little kid, he got called out by Uncle Bobby or Bobby Unser during one of the meetings, and they watched the films, and Bobby's taking questions, and Tim Coffey, who's 10 years old, I said, why does, and he asked Bobby, and he says, why does Dan Gurney have a cheaper stock block engine and you have a turbocharged motor? And then Bobby said, in his typical drawl, he said, "Son, stand up." And Tim Coffey was like, "Oh, I was thought like an ant from all these rooms getting called out." And he goes, "Son, do I really need to tell you the difference between a 159 cubic inch turbocharged door cam off of a Hauser engine to a 305 cubic inch Dan Gurney Westlake rocker arm motor? Son, you need to put your thinking cap on." So, probably one of the funniest quotes I've ever heard. I actually laughed out loud because it laughed in my chair, because that's what Bobby did. He called you out if you made such pretenses. And this was back when he was running the Eagle Offenhauser engines that were making, I don't know, 600 horsepower. Even back then, they were making 600 horsepower in cars that would go up 160, 170 miles an hour. In fact, I think Bobby, because of a little trick he did with his sway bar in his little dirt track, midget trick, he was able to get the first 170 mile an hour lap by loosening up the sway bar by a couple of turns, as he would say. And I said, they didn't have any sense to do it. So, but I'll talk about the Wild West of Group C, Group B, and Formula One in the 1980s. Well, the turbocharged mayhem for sports cars started about 1979, early 1980 with the Porsche 936 and the Porsche Kramer K3s and the 930 K3s way back in the late 70s. But I'll take you guys on that journey. It may take me about 2 hours to explain it to you, but 2 hours to explain it, but I'll try to do my best. I'll try to start with Formula One first, because that's where the turbos sprouted up in the late 70s. So I'll start with Renault, and then Porsche. I'll start with Porsche's game in like 1979, 1980. And then I will start with Rally in 1982, 83, when Lancia came around and Audi with their Quattro came around. And then obviously Peugeot back in the 80s and stuff like that. And, how their cars got that way. But yeah, I'll tell you guys that tomorrow after I come back home from work and I take a shower and I relax. So I'm hoping you guys will enjoy this one. Sorry, it's just a short one. I gotta go take a shower, and then I have work at like 10 o'clock tomorrow, 10 to 4:30, and then I'm gonna be back home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Gear Change Show and for the Turbo Crazy 80s when I didn't live, and how much of a cowboy Santa was for driving cars that mad. But yeah, I'll tell you guys how that all won. And I just want to do a disclaimer: I can't show any footage because YouTube will copyright me, and I'll just try to do this. If you guys want to back up any of my stories, or if you want to do anything like that, you guys can always go on YouTube. Some guys that are really good are Aidan Millward. He's also an F1 IMSA Group C sports car, Group C Formula One and road racing type guy. He's actually very smart. He's actually a very good sim racer as well, and stuff like that. And he probably has a much better racing setup than I do. So, but yeah, I will tell you guys about the story about. Well, actually, you know what I'll do? You know what? I'm gonna do the. The next 3 gear change shows are probably going to be the Turbo Crazy 70s, the Turbo Crazy, the crazy turbo eras. I'll talk about Formula One first, and then I'll go to well, it started in the late 70s, early 80s, and then I'll go from Formula One. Then I'll go to Group B, and depending on, because Formula One turbo era ran for original turbo era, not the current one that's been dominated by Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. and the Ferraris dotting in and out. That went from 79 to, well, I'll tell you guys this, that went from the late 70s up until 1980s, until 87, and then 88, 80, well, actually, was it 87, 88? I'll look that up tonight when I do the research on all these, when all these eras. And then I'm going to do Group B in part 2 next week, and then Group C will be, which lasted from 1981, 82, all the way to about 93. And I'll tell you how that fizzed out, and how that, and I'll also talk about IMSA GTP in that era, in the late 70s, early 80s. So, and how crazy that was. So I'll go talk about GTP, the original GTP class in the Group C era, in part 3, 2 weeks from now. So yeah, I'm gonna break this up into 3 parts, because if I do it all at once, I'm not gonna be able to jam in 3 topics in about half an hour. You guys will, this will probably be 3 half an hour. I'm probably gonna do these between 35 and 40 minutes, and I think it will all come out to about if I do it between 35 and 40, if I do it between 35 and 40 minutes, I'll 35. If I do it 30 minutes will be an hour and a half. If I do it for 45 minutes a piece, I might just do them half an hour, because half an hour. Group C and Group B, actually Group B won't take that long for me to talk about, because Group B was kind of the flash in the pan, kind of. It was only like from 82 to like 86, and then it just went away because of the famous crash at Tour de Corsica. Well, the Rally de Corsica, on the island of Corsica near Italy. But yeah, I'll tell you why each one, how crazy it was, and how each one died, and the safety concerns that did. And then at the end of the videos, I'll just give my wrap up on all 3, and do it. So the Turbo Crazy FIA years will be a 3-parter, probably half an hour a piece. This will probably be so this will probably be about an hour and a half, maybe about an hour and 40. The whole thing will probably topple about an hour and 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours. We'll see if I decide to talk, because I like to talk about motorsports. So, but I will catch you guys tomorrow for the first part. We're going to talk about Formula One and how crazy and how ludicrous the 80s were with the turbochargers, and how crazy and how the new cars being about a gajillion pounds and weighing as much as a road car now. They weigh about 1,900 pounds now, with how they've changed, and how the 11 to 1,400 pound horsepower rockets claim Formula One. I'll tell you how that happened. So I will do that tomorrow, starting with Formula One's late 70s, early 80s, well into the 80s. Span of 10 years, that was absolutely, 10, 11 years, that was absolutely nuts. So I'll catch you guys in that section tomorrow. Thank you.